Good afternoon, Stitch Roadies. Well, it is a fairly beautiful day in the neighborhood. It is blue sky with puffy white clouds. Yesterday it was rain. I think this year is the year where you cannot predict the weather. G swears that the weather people don't know what the weather is going to be. The forecasts are always from night to morning different. I think we just need to pay more attention maybe. But today is a lovely day. I was already out in my garden. There were 3 bunnies running through the yard. I was paying attention to what they were eating, and I planted some bulbs that my cousin gave me from her yard. Dahlias. And for the first time ever, I have blooming in my yard. There's something blooming in my yard. It is something pretty. I'll have G insert a flower. I took a picture of it. All I know is that this particular flower I could never grow on the other side of the mountain, but there was a gentleman in my neighborhood who had a beautiful, the only person I knew that could grow them, along his railing of his deck. And he said, I stopped and talked to him one time and asked him how he grew those, because I've never seen them anywhere else. And he said the right temperature, you have to cover them and feed them. Feed me. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't Little Shop of Horrors, though. Not that flower. It was a... Anyway, I'll have him insert a picture at the end. And I've got my bee book out. This is a cute little book on bees. And the 10 bee-friendly plants to have in your garden are lavender, verbena, snowdrops, echinacea, buddleia, foxglove, honeysuckle, penstemon, don't even know what that is, snapdragon, and dahlia. The dahlia was what I planted today from my cousin's yard. And what I have in my yard that the bees are going bonkers for is a raspberry patch. They are loving that. And there are 25,000 to 30,000 the number of bees in an average swarm. That's a lot of bees. There's a beekeeper that lives on the next road from me. So I have been busy. I have been doing lots of quilting and cross-stitching. I did finish my designated stitch, which I have right here. And this is the Sambry Stitches Adventure Sampler. And I am going to flat fold finish it for a certain spot in the camper van. And so I opted to not do the border because it made it just big enough that I didn't think it would fit in that spot. And the border wasn't showing up on the fabric like I would like it to. So here's the pattern. Yes, an adventure. And here is my finish. Let's see. You're not going to be able to see it with this fabric if I don't put it behind something. And I was going to outline the Bigfoot so he would show up. And Audrey, who has the floss tube Stitchy Witch 42, in her all-knowing way, said, no, you won't. And I said, why won't I? And she said, because Bigfoot hides. He's not supposed to stand out. It made sense, so I have opted not to outline him. You can see him better. You can see him better when you're in the room with him. But on the fabric, it doesn't show up much. But it's going to work out great, and it's so sweet. So I'm going to be passing on the stash for anyone who's interested in the Adventure Sampler. I will be passing on this chart and the Be Stitch Me silks that were called for in the chart. So I have all these Be Stitch Me silks and this Adventure Sampler. So if you are interested, please be a subscriber of the channel and go check out Sambry Stitch's designs. She has a whole lot of designs. And use the word adventure. And then I will send this on to you. Yeah. With that in mind, I also had the random number picker pick out the Fat Quarter gift card. Remember, we featured this lamp last week, and I am loving it. Look at my cell phones right there. I've got the magnifier, and someone asked me what the magnification was, and it said on the pamphlet 2 times, and then the little on the magnifier there's a little round spot for even more, and that said 4 times. But I can, with my bifocals, I can do 56 count with this, so that is working pretty good. And what I loved was in the comments, I tell you, your comments, some of them crack me up. Someone said in this tray, you know, there's a supply tray that's attached to the base of this lamp, and she said you could fill it with snacks. So I think that's appropriate to put M&Ms and pretzels and different snacks in here. Maybe you'd leave one for your scissors and needles and stuff, but having to me, that's the perfect lamp. It provides your social interaction, your light, your magnification, and your snacks, because you do need that caloric intake to keep your energy up for stitching. So, and this was the Anita lamp that the Fat Quarter Shop sent me. Very awesome lamp, and it's pretty. It's so pretty. So the $35 gift card winner was a subscriber of the channel, and her name is Deb Anderson at Deb Anderson 1075. So if you could please email me to the email address in the drop-down box your email address, I will forward that on to Kate at the Fat Quarter Shop, and she will give you a gift card code to use at the Fat Quarter Shop. So yes, thank you, Deb, for being a subscriber. Okay, so what else has been going on? I'm not doing this in any particular order, just so you know that up front. I have been so I finished, and at the very end, I got the trees back framed. It is so big, there's no way I could show it on here. It's sitting on the couch, and it takes up the whole couch. So I will take a photograph of it on the couch and have G put it at the end also. I have not figured out where to hang it. Yeah, I have not figured it out. I did it on 32 counts, so you might want to think about that if you decide to do it. It's stunning. If I had, and I started it so many years ago that I wasn't thinking in terms of size. You know, we think about size in other aspects of our life, but not in cross-stitch so much, but now I do. Size does matter, and yeah, so I'll take a picture of that and insert it at the end. So you want to stay tuned to the end to see that. Which means that I had a finish, so I got another star, a star for a finish this month. I took in the Away We Ride to the framers, and so that is getting framed. And I think yeah, that was supposed to go to somebody. Let me think about that. So I started another designated stitch, and I have so many whips. I now have 30 whips, and when I look at the all of the whips, I kind of go through. They're all in project bags, and I go through them trying to figure out what I feel like. That's the number one criteria. What do I feel like stitching? Where is the project in the process? And then choose what that next whip will be to get finished. So my designated stitch is, let me find the pattern. Is the pattern here? Yeah, here it is. This one here. The Maker and Mender, Brenda Gervais. Isn't that beautiful? And I've made some progress just in the last couple days where I have been stitching on it. And last night I spent all evening working on my very first Algerian stitches. Never did that specialty stitch, and didn't realize how challenging it was at the beginning. So the Algerian stitch is over here. I had to change it to my initials, and from the time I left off till when I picked up, I finished all of these flowers here and this little tree thing here, and then I'm working on the Algerian stitch right here. So I'm enjoying this stitch. I'm enjoying this stitch. I know it's on probably the called for fabric and the called for threads. So let's see, what does it say here? It's on Vintage Country Mocha, 36 count, Edinburgh linen. Yeah, so that that is the designated stitch for the foreseeable future. As far as stitching goes, yesterday was Margaret, who mentors a lot of the stitch groups at Acorns and Threads, the Zoom, and the in-person, started a new third Thursday because we really can't see each other enough. I mean, I see Jean more than I see them, that's true, but yeah, to maintain a relationship, I need to see my stitchy friends. So I decided to take my quirky tomato to work on. That is in my, I keep it in my really sweet Punky's Place bag. And this is one of those bags that holds 5x7 patterns. I can hold 1, 2, 3, 4 patterns in here. And I've designated this particular one as my Biscornu bag. So the Nebby Needle Quirky Tomato is the Biscornu that I'm working on. And I found out from Margaret, it's a good thing I take some of these stitches because I thought I was completely done with the top and I was working on the bottom. But then I found out from Margaret that I have to outline. I have to do this one stitch, back stitch outline all around here because that's what you use to sew it together. No clue. Of course, it would help if I read the instructions, which I did not, because why should I when I have Margaret? So now I have to work on that. Yes. Okay. What next? I got a little bit of haul. This particular pattern I had purchased previously, and I had all of the called for Gloriana silks, but a couple of them. So a couple came in, and I asked Linda to alter the script for me so that I could make this a wedding or anniversary stitch and put a date in there. And I just love the green, the various green colors of silk are so beautiful. And the sample is hanging in Acorns and Threads, and so it's just lovely, lovely. This week also came in my order for the next Spirit of Christmas Set 2. You remember I had Christmas Spirit of Christmas Set 1, and I did 3 of those pillows, and now I need to do these ones. Add these to my list. They're all so cute. Yes. I have been on a bit of a kid-along, hashtag kid-along, yeah. And that is starts. I want all the starts. It is hard to think about not starting something. I know that some of you are monogamous stitchers, and I have said before, there's only one part of my life I'm monogamous on. Thank goodness. But cross-stitching is not. In my crafting life, I am not monogamous. And so I did some kitting up because I felt a great need to. I mean, kitting up provides a step of pleasure that is required in cross stitch. I'm just saying it. And so I have this adorable French bag that was gifted to me by Cheryl, Stitching with the Sisterlies, and it has the cutest little needle minder. And this bag is holding a PDF that I bought from Emily Call Stitching, and it says I am enough, but I saw it on Instagram. And Instagram, I'm telling you, social media can be very evil. And I say that with all the love in the world, because I saw it on Instagram stitched with this thread, this variegated thread. So that is what I'm going to do. And this thread is a blendable sulky cotton petite. Janine had to order it for me, and I cannot wait to start this. I absolutely loved it, and on that fabric, and so that will be a start sometime in the near future. And I think I told you before that I was at Stitch Group at Acorns and Threads when I found out after the fact from my friend Laura that sitting down the table, of course I was talking to her even, but I had no clue that she was the designer of Lola Crow cross stitch. Yeah, I wish I had known, because I want to kind of understand the brain that designed this. I absolutely love it. And it is the Haunted Library. Yeah, this has to be done sometime for a family member who's all about the library. And I'm doing it on, now if you want to really see an amazing stitch, because right now Audrey from Stitchy Witch 42 is stitching it and posting those photos on Instagram, and she is doing it on the most amazing fabric, just the most amazing fabric with spider webs printed on it. I have selected Haunted 36 count Serafina fabrics, and so it has a little bit of purple, a little bit of gray, and then all the call for DMCs, which are a lot of DMCs. And I have this kitted up in this bag that was gifted to me by Cheryl from Stitching with the Sisterlies, because I loved it. And it's a dot dot goose bag, and it's got the thread buddy, which, yes, I love those. I love Denise's thread buddies, and so this is going to be a start sooner than later. I know, am I making you nervous? And then the next start is in this beautiful bee bag that was gifted. And I'm sorry about that. I'm knocking it around. Audrey got this done. I know, I really need loser friends. People that are getting things done are making me feel bad about myself. But she got this done, and it was the Vulcan calligraphy. And the first time I saw this, Laura was stitching it as a wedding gift. And this is translated to state, live long and prosper. Vulcan calligraphy. And I chose, sorry about that, 28 count silver fox for my fabric, and I'm using Roxy Floss chalkboard. So I might start that this week. Yeah. This I see as an anniversary present. So yeah, I've done some kitting up, which I have a lot of things kitted up, but when they hit a project bag kitted up, that's a next level kitting. You see, I have dream charts, then I have charts with floss, which means it's the first tier of kitting. It's the, I love this pattern, I might do it in the next year. And then if it's kitted with floss and fabric, ooh baby, yeah. And then if it's kitted with floss, fabric, and in a project bag, it's, come on, bring it on, bring it on. So yeah, okay. Thinking, thinking, thinking. I have a finish. I have a finish. In my book of days, I have each month challenges for myself, and if I reach that challenge, I get a silver star. And one of the challenges was every month I have a Christmas ornament challenge. And if I get that done, then I get a star. And I am a sucker for stars. So I tried to figure out what was going to be my Christmas ornament for the month. And I said, you know, I need to bite the bullet. I have never stitched on perforated paper. And this was a small project in which I could give it a shot. And so I had a start and a finish. And I met the goal of a Christmas ornament. So these are the cutest little sleds that Acorns and Threads has for sale for this line of charts. Isn't he adorable? I had so much fun. I had so much fun doing this. And this is by Foxwood Crossing. And Janine has not only the chart, but also the sleds. And there are all kinds of patterns for the cross-stitch patterns that go on these sleds. Very, very satisfying. I did read the instructions. I did. And there were two ways to finish it, and I chose the way that the designer said was her favorite. And that was using two-sided sticky tape. So that's what I used, and it has worked perfect. So it's kind of fun to have a fully finished. Yeah. Now this last week was a big stitching week, not only at Acorns and Threads, but also at Pioneer Quilts, which is a quilt shop here in Portland. And I had, my mind got blown. My mind got blown because, you know, it's called Woolly Wednesday, but everybody does different hand stitching. It's not machine stitching at all. So some people are doing Seuss Bargo wool stitching or primitive wool stitching. Some people are embroidering. I was embroidering. And then some cross stitching goes on there. One of the gals was cross stitching on cotton with transferees. Now, if you're not familiar, I use transferees for embroidery all the time. If you don't want to trace an embroidery pattern onto cotton, you take the shortcut and you buy a pack of transferees, which is this stuff here. And it comes in sheets. And then you put this sheet into your printer and you put your project on there and you print it out, and it comes out onto a piece of transferees, which is freezer paper on one side and a kind of fibrous sticky. It's stuck to the paper, but a kind of fibrous product. It's printed out on that. So in embroidery, you print it out and then you peel this apart and you stick this on your fabric and then you stitch through it. And when you're all done with your stitching, then you run it under water and this transferease dissolves away from the fabric. And then you press your piece and you move on to the next one, or finish it up, whichever. One of the gals at Pioneer Quilts was cross-stitching on cotton with transferees. And I said, wait a minute. I mean, she had her fabric in a hoop. I said, wait a minute. What the heck's going on here? I mean, I felt like I had stepped into an alternate universe. And what she did was she took her cross-stitch chart and printed it on the transferees, and then slapped the transferees on her cotton fabric. It's kind of like the early days of stamped cross-stitch, but this is with our current day patterns, and the pattern she was using was adorable. And she was then not, you don't have to count the holes. The X's are printed on here, and she was just cross-stitching. She was cross-stitching, like taking a Brenda Gervais pattern and just putting it on fabric and cross-stitching. I tell you, I was like, my mind was blown. Because one of the things that I acknowledge and struggle with is that I'm only getting older. Yeah. So how do I keep enjoying the things I love to do? One is audiobook. When I know that if I went blind tomorrow, I'd still have the joy of books. Cross-stitch. Someday, you hear it all the time. Someday people are going, I can't see the holes, I can't do 56 count, I can't do this. But this is an option of not having to do that. I don't know. I just thought it was genius. I'm going to keep it in the back of my mind for future dates when I actually age, which I am not letting happen right now. But yeah, great idea. And how many times have you heard one of us go, I can't see the holes, I have to do 14 count Ada because I can't see the holes. Well, let me tell you, this way you don't need the holes. You just need the X's. Yeah, it was awesome. Absolutely awesome. So, I finished The House on the Carillion Sea, which was such a great read. I mean, I know there was some controversy about it. I kind of have given up on controversies. I'm so tired of controversies. You know, I just want to be nice, people be nice to me, and have a good time. So I really enjoyed that book. It was good. It was a fantasy, if you're into fantasy. It was definitely that genre, and was just a lovely read. And so now, oh, my phone's right here. I was looking for my phone, and it's attached to my Anita lamp. Oh, gosh, this is, I mean, this kind of organization is just beyond me. So here I am. I can be stitching and shopping and reading and watching FlossTube. So right now I am in the middle of finding freedom, and so that is a autobiography. Erin French is the and she's a I believe she's cookbook author, chef, and it is an autobiography, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Different genre. I like different genre. I don't read much science fiction. I do admit that. I don't read much science fiction. And truly nonfiction is kind of I love that. I love those things that make my brain expand. Yeah. That's why my head's so big. Yeah. So, but that's what I have been enjoying in the literary world. Amazing Race just finished up. I got dragged into that again, and Survivor. other than that, nothing really on television has really, like, I gotta watch that. So, don't have any suggestions there, but I have been enjoying myself stitching and quilting. I have a big, I don't know about you, but June is one of those months in our family that is explosive. I mean, we must have 8+ birthdays. We have Father's Day. We have a wedding. 2 graduations. Yeah, June is epic. Absolutely epic for us. So I hope that I can keep up on my stitching and that I can meet up with you here again. So don't forget, if anybody knows Deb Anderson, 1075, Fat Quarter Gift Shop is waiting for you. You all take care. Thank you for stopping by. Know that I love you guys, and also stay tuned for some photographs because I'm going to add some.